I just wanted to come on live to see if anyone was up. I know it's a Friday night, but I figured I just got off live on TikTok. So I was like, let me come over here. Oh, sorry. My camera's shaking. I was like, let me come over here on YouTube and see what is going on. I definitely wanted to make sure that I connected with social workers and therapists more on this platform. This is my primary platform where I first started, and I'm always over on YouTube. I'm always over on TikTok. So I was like, okay, let me come over here. I know it's late. So if I don't get anyone to come into the room, I'll probably wait maybe a couple minutes and then see if anyone comes in. But I was just reviewing the poll that I put on my post. So I was asking you guys what topics you were interested in, and we were talking about how to increase your income to reduce one-on-one client work. And 50% of you said that you wanted me to talk about how to increase your income by reducing one-on-one client work. And then I think I went over the results of the poll yesterday. And then when I asked about how many of you, I'm looking at the poll results on my computer right now. And then when I asked how many of you wanted to learn about identifying your thought leadership, I had 0%, which surprised me. And I kind of want to get into why that surprised me because it's important. And then for nailing down your niche, I had 21% of you said that you were, excuse me, interested in me talking more about that. Sorry, it's shaking. I don't know. I think it's hitting my chair. So sorry about that. Um, so nailing down your niche was 21%, and then building an income outside of your 9 to 5. So 29% of you said that you wanted me to talk about that. So the reason why I think it's so interesting when we talk about increasing your income outside of one-to-one client work, it really got me thinking, like, are you all thinking that I'm going to be talking about non-social work skill related ways to increase your income outside of one-to-one client work? Because I'm not going to be talking about like um drop shipping or driving for Uber or um babysitting, dog walking. Like, those aren't the ideas and suggestions that I'm going to be giving you. The ideas that I'm going to be giving you to help you reduce one-on-one client work are all going to center around how you can leverage your degree and your expertise. So, and foundational to you leveraging your skills and expertise is you identifying your thought leadership. So I was really surprised when um, no one wanted to learn more about identifying your thought leadership, or maybe you already feel confident that you know what your thought leadership is. But yeah, that shocked me. So with that, when we're talking about reducing one-to-one client work, so there are specific opportunities that I like to recommend for social workers and therapists that are best leveraging your time, because I think that there are a lot of opportunities that you could seek out, like if you wanted to do more um, like therapy, or if you wanted to do groups. I know a lot of people mention about doing therapeutic groups. But one of the things that I like to recommend to me, like when you do a therapy group and you're physically having to show up, I like to recommend things that don't require you to physically show up, because we already give so much of ourselves. We always give so much of our time. Um, but we're not always taught how to do the highly leveraged activities that don't always require you to show up and physically be present. And those things are just as valuable as you physically being there. So if you were to create, so I'm going to give you a couple ideas of things that I recommend. And if you have not used my income generator, I created a tool for social workers and therapists just to kind of get your ideas going about if you were to start moving away from one-to-one client work to a one-to-many model, what are some opportunities that could be available for you? So when you use the income generator, it gives you 6 different opportunities, 6 ideas or offers that you can put together. And then it also has a tool that can help you identify like what is the earning potential of these different offers. So not only does it show you the 6 offers, Then there's a button after you get the recommendation from me. So you answer 6 questions first. It'll give you my recommendation, my top recommendation for you. And then it's a button that you can click where it says estimate your income. So it's going to allow you to run some numbers, like how many people would you need to attend, how many of this digital product would you need to sell. So that's really going to get your mind open, thinking about if you were to leverage your skill set better and move away again from the one-to-one model to the one-to-many, how much money could you potentially make? And it's not just how much you can make for the month, but it also estimates out how much you can make for the year. And I think it's like over the next 90 days too. So I highly recommend for you to utilize that tool. It is in the link in my bio. I don't know if I can link it here, but if you go to Instagram or TikTok, it's linked in my bio. So you could just click there, and then it says calculate your income in 2 minutes or less. I think that's what it's called. And that's how you access the income estimator. So if you decide to use it, I want you all to let me know, like, what numbers. First, what was the recommendation that you received based off the information that you added, and then what was the income that you were able to create from that. So the way that I recommend using it to move away from one-to-one work is I would calculate, when you're seeing someone one-to-one, how much are you earning from seeing that one person, that one client. So I would calculate what that is. So if you're in private practice, if you're doing private pay, if you're being reimbursed by insurance, then you're being reimbursed at a specific rate. So I would take whatever that rate is, and then decide how much would you need to sell a training for, a workshop, a webinar, a master class, for you to be able to replace one unit, like one-to-one session. And then that becomes the goal. And then you just work toward reverse engineering those numbers so that you can hit the goal for replacing the one-to-one client work. So again, I highly recommend downloading the income estimator so you can run your numbers and figure out how you can move away from one-to-one work. And then when you're putting together your ideas for your digital product or your workshop, that's going to be, again, one of the 6 ideas that you get. Now, in order for you to be positioned to create the workshop or the training, the webinar, the masterclass, you have to identify what your thought leadership is. That's the thing that people are paying for. They're paying to learn about your frameworks, paying to learn about your expertise, the thing that you know, the thing that separates what you know from what other people are saying, or that gives them a level of understanding that they don't have, or moves them from a point of where they are now and experiencing a transformation to where it is that they want to be. So your ability to be able to articulate that, like the value of that, why it's beneficial for them, what makes you different, like your differentiating factors as to why someone should listen to you, all of that has to do with identifying your thought leadership. And if you're not able to like fully articulate that, then it can be hard convincing people to sign up for, and you don't really want to convince people anyway. You just want to be able to articulate the value of what it is that you provide. So with you being able to do that, like, you want to be able to tell your story and letting people know why they should listen to you. You want to build that, what we call know, like, and trust factor in marketing, where people believe that you're someone who can help them get to the transformation that they're looking for. So with all that being said, you being able to develop your thought leadership is going to be important, because you want to be able to communicate your values, your beliefs, your framework, your philosophy, things that matter to you, why this is important, your mission, the reason why you've decided to help people with this as opposed to helping with something else. And it has to be more important than just to make more money. Like, you want to be able to have what you do tied to a bigger reason and a bigger purpose, and that's going to be the thing that's going to resonate with the people that you're wanting to serve, because hopefully they'll see themselves in your story, or there'll be some relatability there. So you want to be able to develop that, which is going to help you be able to sell your offers easier. It's going to help you connect with people even better, and it's going to, again, be able to help you differentiate yourself from what other people are offering. So that's one of the things that I wanted to mention was I wanted to review the poll, and then I wanted to talk about this whole idea of identifying your thought leadership and how that's going to be so important for you if you are wanting to reduce one-to-one client work. So maybe you are a social worker, therapist, or helping professional, and you already feel like you know what those differentiating factors are. But if you've not put your thought leadership out there yet, there's a reason why you've not done it. I'm wondering if there's some fear, some apprehension. Maybe you don't like how your voice sounds. Maybe you don't feel like you know how to sell. There's a reason why you've not taken the steps to move away from one-to-one work. So if you are struggling with that, like, you know, this is something that you want to do, you know that you want to use some of the models that I talked about, whether it's a membership, a training, a webinar, a masterclass, um, a course, whatever it is that you want to put together. If you're struggling with putting that together at all, if you have questions, you can put the questions in the comments below, or you can message me on Instagram or TikTok and let me know that you saw the live, and then we can kind of chat about what's getting in the way of you being able to put together an offer online and then moving away from the one-to-one work, especially if you're already going to have the numbers. Like, if I'm already providing you with the tool to know how many people or how many units you're going to have to sell, like, then it's just a matter of like putting together the training, like creating the slides, making the PowerPoint. Now there are some steps, and when I did my live on TikTok, I explained like from start to finish what all those steps are that you want to have in place in order for you to be able to create your webinar. Because I see a lot of social workers and therapists creating webinars, which I think is great, but they're not creating webinars from an online marketing lens, which means they're leaving out steps and they're not putting together all the things that they need to have in place in order for it to be the most optimized and for it to work for them the best way. So I'll give you two examples. So one social worker that I saw, she created a training. She created her content, so she's leveraging her content to be able to get people to sign up for her training. She did really well. She had very good engagement on the training, and then she got people to sign up for the training and they attended, which was great. One of the things that she didn't do is she did not run it back as a replay. That's classic for knowing how to leverage your expertise online when you're doing online marketing. And that's the reason why social workers have to not build what they're doing online like they're building like a something in academia. Like, this is not academia, this is online marketing. So you need to use online marketing strategies. So with her creating the training, she did it one time and she didn't run back the replay. And then when I reached out to her, like, did you offer the replay? She's like, no, I didn't offer the replay. And then she's like, I was thinking about offering it lower than because they didn't get to attend live. No, it would be the same price. And then oftentimes when you're doing online marketing, you don't charge on the front end for the training, you charge on the back end and you sell on the webinar. You do a sales webinar in the online marketing space. So that's the other thing, the other mental switch that we have to think about. We're used to charging for webinars and trainings on the front end, like for a CEU, but we don't know the strategy and tactics for selling or having a sales webinar in the online marketing space. So that's kind of what messes us up, because we're positioning it like we're doing CEU trainings and like a traditional social work or professional education training, when it's really an online marketing and sales training. Now, it's great because you were able to make income on the front end, but with that, you kind of miss the opportunity on the back end to further be able to monetize it. So that was one mistake. And then another mistake that I saw is not having a funnel at all. Like, you don't need a funnel, but if you're doing online marketing and you're wanting to get the most out of what you're doing online, you want to be able to have you don't want to just send people to a Stripe payment link. When you're doing online marketing, it's a lot more strategic than that. It's not just see the thing, buy the thing. Like, you're wanting to create a long-term relationship with the people who are coming in contact with you. So there's some steps in between that you need to have in place so that you're not missing the opportunity for more sales, more engagement, to get people on your email list, to continue to communicate with them, and to upsell them on other offers that you might have in the future. So those are just two things that I noticed. Again, nothing wrong with it. It just can probably be optimized a little bit better, so that you get more, you squeeze more of the juice out of it when you know how to use these tactics and these marketing skills. So again, if you have any questions, you can put those in the comments, or if you want to reach out to me directly, you can just DM me, and I will respond when I see it. And then if you know that you just have any questions in general, you can always set up time for us to talk individually, and then we could kind of talk through what your ideas are, what are some points that you're struggling with, and then just kind of work together from there. Now, if you know that you just want ongoing support, maybe you see my content, maybe you saw my live yesterday, and you know that you want to be in community with other social workers and therapists who are working toward their goals, then I would love for you to consider joining Design Your Career. It is my membership where social workers and therapists come together to plan out their 12-week goals. We meet every week for accountability, for coaching, for recommendations, for strategy. So whatever it is that you're doing, you get the support, you get my support, and we just kind of work through what your ideas are so we can make sure that you're not getting stuck on your goals. I also have trainings for content, knowing how to position yourself online. You can access that. And then my entire Design Your Career curriculum. It's a 4-part curriculum, which is going to help you identify your professional purpose statement, which is like your overall mission and goal for what it is that you're building. And then you're going to learn how to execute on your goals, taking actionable steps, and then knowing when you need to pivot. If something were to happen or something changes, you need to be nimble enough to know when and how to pivot. So if you know that you've been looking for support, you want accountability, you have a bigger goal that you're trying to create outside of your 9 to 5, then I would love for you to consider joining Design Your Career. You could just go to the link in my profile on Instagram or TikTok, and then you'll see the link to join Design Your Career there. It is a monthly membership, so we meet every week for 1 hour. Now, I will say this: Design Your Career is not for new social workers and newly licensed social workers who are in the field and don't have at least 3 years of experience. So it's ideally for you've been working in your profession for at least 3 to 5 years, and you're committed to creating something on the side. Ideally, I would like for you to already be creating content, and have an idea of a digital product or offer that you would want to create. That's who the community is for. It's not for social workers who are looking for interview strategies, interview tips, how to get a job. That is what my YouTube content is for. If you know that you are wanting to move away from solely relying on your 9 to 5 and then creating something outside of that that's more reliable, more sustainable, something that you can control, then that is who Design Your Career is for. So you can let me know if you're interested. If you want more details about it, you can click the link in my profile to learn more about it, and then just to see if it's a good fit for you. So thank you all so much for joining my live. I'll probably try to go live again tomorrow. I know I'm at least committing to going live on Thursday, but if I can squeeze in another 2 days during the week, I'm definitely going to try to do that. So I'll probably be on live tomorrow, and then we could chat some more then, and then you can let me know if you have any questions. So I hope you all have a great evening, and then I will see you tomorrow. Bye.